So good morning, everyone. Good morning, all, and special welcome to our media partners. We have Radio Montserrat here, along with the Montserrat Reporter, and of course, we have representatives of the youth program as well here, and the Ministry of Agriculture Fisheries section. Now, this is the first official press briefing for the Blue Halo and Youth and Sports Development Sustainable Fish Trap Project. This follows the signing of the MOU in January of this year by the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Education and Youth Affairs, and the Waite Institute, which paved the way for the commencement of this project over the next 12 months. Today's press briefing will seek to provide an update on that project, and that's the Fish Trap Project, foster a better understanding of the project goals and objectives, and will also include the handing over of some equipment to assist with the implementation of the project. As part of the project, 4 young persons will be trained in fisheries research and management through the Youth Apprentice Program. We have here with us the Honorable Parliamentary Secretary and Youth Apprentice Program Coordinator, Mr. Gregory Willock. We also have the Executive Director of the Waite Institute, Dr. Catherine Mengerink, who is on my immediate right. And on her right, we have the Site Manager of the Blue Halo Initiative, Robin Ramdeen, who will all give remarks. First, we'll hear from Dr. Mengerink.
Hi, thank you all for joining us today, and I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Willock, who really led the way in establishing this program and bringing the idea to us to work with the Youth Apprentice Program on the fish pots and the project. I'd also love to thank the Fisheries Division for the work that they've been doing, and we've been collaborating with them since the beginning of our project as part of Blue Halo Montserrat. The goal of this project has been to evaluate the use of sustainable fish pots. The type of fish pots that we're going to test in this project have been used in Africa, and they've been used in Curacao and have been demonstrated to be successful in those places. And so what we want to know is, will they be a successful tool here? In particular, the pots have escape panels and escape gaps. So an escape panel essentially is a panel that will, after it soaks in the water for a couple of months, open up, and that's important if you lose a trap. So it prevents ghost fishing, which is a destructive practice that benefits no one. The other thing is escape gaps, which are gaps that are built into the side of the fish pots that allow for juvenile fish to escape. And that's important when we think about what the future of fisheries is. And I think that it's particularly relevant that we're working with the Youth Apprentice Program, because the future of fishing is really about the future of the youth on Montserrat. It's about Montserrat's future in terms of, will you have the fisheries here for your kids' kids, and so on. And that's a really crucial part of the work that we're doing. So I'm really excited to be here today with my colleague Robin Ramdeen, who will also make a few comments, to be able to share some of the supplies that we've been able to secure to support the project, and to also thank once again the youth apprentices who have joined us in this project and are willing to work on this experiment, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. I'd just like to say that it's really exciting for me to be able to work with the youth in Montserrat, especially these youth in particular. The fishers are bringing with them their own skills, so they're not just coming with a blank slate and need to learn everything. In fact, I'm learning a lot as well. So Lester and Shane are working alongside an expert veteran fisher, El Nathan, who I think is well known in Montserrat, to build the traps, and we've already visited and seen the process progressing quite nicely. We will start off initially with 40 traps, half of which will be built in the regular way, and half which will be built in the way that Catherine described. And the goal of the project is to demonstrate if there are any differences in the catches in terms of size of catch, length of catch, weight of catch, species as well, and price. Because what we hope that the results will be is that the fish caught in the more sustainable trap are not varying that that much or that much from the catch. The What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that when the fishers sell the catch, there won't be such a big decrease in their profits and their earnings from the sustainable traps compared to the regular traps, despite those escape gaps allowing juvenile fish to escape. And the reasoning behind that is that those smaller fish don't bring that much in terms of income to fishers anyways, and those are kind of the last fish that are remaining to be sold and probably just get taken home for broth or what have you. So yeah, I'm really excited to be working on this project in parallel to our marine spatial planning work that's in progress, and almost at the point of having a new marine spatial plan for Montserrat probably by mid-year this year. So this timing of this project, of this initiative that was brought by Mr. Willock was really perfect, so that we had some new, fresh work to do. And it's such a synergy between the older fishers and the younger fishers. And what we're hoping that these younger fishers can demonstrate to the older fishers is that there's a new and improved way to do fishing, and still maintain traditional fishing gears like fish traps in Montserrat.
Okay, thank you so much, Robin Ramdeen, and Dr. Menjering will now have some remarks from the Honorable Parliamentary Secretary, who's also the coordinator of the Youth Apprentice Program.
Thank you very much, Fiona. Thanks, Catherine and Robin, for those remarks in regards to this very exciting project here on Montserrat for our young people, and not just for our young people, for our capacity building and also our sustainability in the area of fishing. Because what we found is that we are aging fisher population, and if we don't have continuity, we could jeopardize one of the main food supplies here on Montserrat. Also, to bring about an effective, efficient, environmentally friendly way of doing it, so that we can make sure that we are doing it right. This is a pilot project, and we will have to look at the results. We will have to stress test it. We will have to look at it, analyze it at the end, and make sure that the information that we get can inform us for the future sustainability of fishing on Montserrat. It really gives me pleasure to be here with you guys who have been so accommodating to the idea of creating opportunities for our youth on Montserrat in new areas, and not just new areas, new techniques in doing their trade. And we do have the experience of some of the youngsters in the area already, but it will develop their skill further and give them a wider avenue in terms of how they go about doing their trade or applying their trade, and maybe help them to make more money in this area. And that's one of the things that we are looking to have young people going to skills areas that are not necessarily overpopulated, so that we have opportunities that really do not have that competitive, well, not competitive, but not congested area. But nevertheless, we're here to receive some further additional equipment that will help enhance the work from the youth, and also give them the tools, also security and safety devices in life jackets, and also GPS to help the location, the depth, and other statistical information that we will need to collect from this program. I'm really excited as the Parliamentary Secretary responsible for youth that we can partner with the White Institute and the Blue Halo Initiative to pull off and to have this project going. And I'm really looking forward to the results of it, and for the feedback from the young people themselves in terms of what they think this can do for the future of fishing here on Montserrat.
All right, thank you, Mr. Willock. Ms. Ramdeen, if you can just let us know the equipment, the types of equipment that will be handed over today, and then we'll have the media partners here who would want to ask some questions as well.
Sure. So today we had to outfit the boat with a GPS device and depth sounder, because in the experiment we're going to be setting traps at different depths, and we have to know that we're setting both types of traps at similar depths. So we have that Garmin Striker 4, which was recommended by Fisheries Officer Javier. He uses it and he said it's excellent. So we got that for Lester's boat. We also have two HP laptops, which would be used by Keenan on data collection. And also Dwight for outreach purposes, because another component of this project is doing a bit of outreach to let people know what we're working on and the results as well, importantly. We also have a scale. We have a digital hanging scale to measure fish. And I think I already mentioned life jackets, raincoats, and gloves for hauling of the traps, because we don't have a trap hauler on that boat, unfortunately for Lester and Shane.
Okay, thank you so much. And those items are actually on the side of the room, to your left. Okay, so now we'll have questions from the media representatives here.
They just completed this thing with Canary that was involving fishery. I understand that, but they are pretty much advancing about where to catch and those things, and they have maps and all kinds of stuff. So I was wondering, your guys were not at all, did not participate in that, did they?
That's not our program.
I know it's not your program, but certainly if it's you did, indeed. So, right. So good. So that you can you all coordinate, relate with each other, because it's I do not know that it's not the intention that they will work separate and apart from what goes on in the. Am I correct with that?
Correct.
Yeah, definitely. We're aware of Canary's workshop last week, I believe.
Yeah.
They did a 3D participatory modeling for like climate resilience in fisheries here in Montserrat.
Indeed.
So we are in contact with them. We have conversations so that they know what data we've collected and
Right.
through the Blue Halo initiative and vice versa. So yeah, I think it's very important that everyone knows about the projects that are happening here in fisheries.
Yeah, I know. I understand this is a sort of something new, a new initiative
Yes.
on the part of beginning with Mr. Willock, but I know Blue Halo was big with Antigua and
Yes.
Barbuda and others. So, do they have a similar project as this?
Yes and no. This one's novel in the sense that we are doing a trap demonstration where we're actually doing an experiment to determine how different are the catches from the regular trap to this new sustainable trap design. Whereas in Barbuda, Blue Halo helped pass a regulation in 2014 to use this exact trap design that we're using over here. And make it part of their fisheries law that this is the traps that they should have, but they never got to test it. So in that sense, this project here is quite different and distinct from Barbuda's own story. But like Catherine mentioned, this trap is not new. It's been used in other Caribbean islands, in Africa, other places. So it's been tested already. But I think the importance that Mr. Willock raised was, let's demonstrate to the fishery here how this new trap will affect their fishing, if it will affect their fishing at all. Let's not just take the experience from somewhere else and make this a law here without trying it out first. So I think the outreach component and building buy-in is huge here. We have the potential to learn from these apprentices. What do they learn in doing this test? And then do we want to upgrade to this new type of fishing trap?
This is a project. How long is this initiative lasting for?
So this Youth Apprentice Partnership is for 1 year, beginning I think February this year until end of January next year. And the first 7 or 8 months will be testing the traps. They've already been built, mostly. They're almost completed. So the first month was building the traps. The next 6 to 7 months will be testing the traps. Like I mentioned, different areas around Montserrat, different depths, 2 different types of traps, and testing the different results in catches. Are they catching different types of fish? Are they different sizes of fish? The hope is that we have far less juveniles in this new design trap, because that's the point. You want to let those juvenile fish free because you don't want to eat those ones. You want them to grow up, get big, so then you can eat them after they've had a chance to multiply.
Yes, I made a note about your youth saying that, and if they do, they'll use the little ones for broth. I think people would rather use the bigger ones for broth.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, just as well than the little ones.
Nice.
But indeed, it's a good thing to get those back
Yeah.
into so that they can
Exactly.
become.
So the hope is after those 7 months of field work, Keenan, who is on data collection, will have an opportunity to build some skills with analysis through our collaboration or our colleagues at Sustainable Fisheries Group to get some basic fisheries science training to analyze the results and then present and that's where Dwight's role will really come out with doing outreach with the rest of the fishing community to say what were the results of this year-long project. Are these traps really, great?
Thanks, Robin. I think you've been trying your best, so I got to help as well. All of us have to come in here and back up each other. One of the things that you asked earlier is in terms of partnership and not duplicating and exchanging information. If you look in the room, we have Javier and Leandra, who are with the Ministry of Agriculture, who will be working with all aspects of the fishing data. And they will be partnering and working along with our data collectors and our officials to ensure that information that's coming is shared not just with us but with all the stakeholders. So basically we're not reinventing the wheel. We're not trying to do anything separate. What we're doing is giving our young people an opportunity to learn new skills, develop fishing techniques, and also understand data collection, how it is informing what they catch, how they catch it, how they sell it, and basically the whole business of fishing. So it is us creating an opportunity for young people who otherwise may not necessarily get the attention that would be necessary to have sustainability in the industry here in Montserrat.
Just quickly add to what my colleagues on the head table said. The primary reason for calling this media advisory this morning is to sort of bring the media up to speed as to where the project is from time we have started on the 8th to now. Now, one of the things that is traditional is whenever young people get involved in something, it sort of opens a rippling effect for other young people, young persons also want to become involved in the same thing. So this project basically is introducing young people into fishing, but not just traditional fishing, but a new way of fishing, using tradition and bringing it into modernization. So over the next 6 to 12 months, you will be hearing a lot from me in terms of what we have, where we are, what we have done, how the project is benefiting. There's a lot of school activities. I'm currently in the process of drafting out a outreach plan for the 12 months, so that step by step we can have the information disseminated in a proper way. But as it's a partnership between WAIF, Blue Halo, and the Youth Apprenticeship Program, it's also a partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, and hence the reason why they were part of the signing. It's also a partnership with the Ministry of Education, not just the youth department aspect of it, but education in terms of going into the schools, going into the community college, getting young people involved and seeing the need for fishing, so that we can bridge that generation gap between the aging or the outgoing fishers and the new ones. During the time that we were at the trap making site, at the time I was data collector, I've learned so much from El Nathan as a fisher for over 50 years. There's so much of things I've learned and listened to him and listened to his advice and stuff, which make me interested in fishing, which probably could never have happened. So this project is good in a sense. I think it's a very worthwhile initiative. And And hence the reason why I'm putting so much effort into making sure that every single component of it runs smoothly and effectively, because I've seen not just tomorrow, but I've seen 12 months from now, 13 months from now, 24 months from now, when we have a sustainable fish project in Montserrat that is youth led. And I think that's a first, not just for Montserrat, but for the Caribbean on a whole. And I think that is something that we should all be very much proud of.
Can I ask just one quick favor? If each one of these young men would introduce themselves so we can know who, so please.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Shane Caesar.
Good morning, I'm Les Darlin.
Good morning, my name is Keenan James,
Okay, so Fisher, data collector.
and I'm the data collector for the project.
I am Leandra Lee from Fisheries Department.
Who?
Javier Adams, Fisheries Data Collector. No, I'm not big shot, I'm small.
Okay, I just have one question. What will be the next step if this experiment comes out favorable? Let me not jump the gun, but do you see Montserrat adapting the legislation that has been passed in Barbuda?
Yeah, I think that Montserrat has its own unique needs and features, and so we've been talking with the Fisheries Department, with the Ministry of Agriculture about the fisheries law, fisheries regulations, and there's been interest since the beginning of Blue Halo Montserrat in updating the fisheries law to harmonize with the region in terms of like the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism and other policies that have been developed in the Caribbean region. And our goal is to support the improved fisheries law and process. But I would say, like, this is a possibility. I think that if you were to adopt these types of fish pots, that it would be done at the regulatory level. And, that's, I would say, a moving target at this point. So I'm hopeful that this is something that's successful, that you see that this works, both in the context of maintaining a healthy fishery and also helping to restore and rebuild fisheries that have been exploited for generations. So I think that there's real opportunity for that, and my hope is that this is a success, and then people will want to adopt it, that it will be a worthwhile thing to do.
Let me just also add quickly that Minister Osborne has a similar idea in terms of a fish trap that he's excited about. I think that's what the Ministry of Agriculture, he as minister came on board, because he did say that in the MOU that he has a similar idea. So basically, this project is well on the way. It's just that we are coming now and laying hands with Minister Osborne and his idea of the fish trap and bringing that into fruition. So the possibility for this project failing, I don't see it. I honestly think that is something that is going to be successful if we work hard at it.
Let me just say here that we're not intending to stop anything that's happening. What we're saying, we're willing to allow these young people to have exposure to this project through all its elements, gather the data, gather the skills, and then we will look at how effective it was for the young people in terms of where the opportunities are after this program. We spoke about the partnership in terms of exposure to the data collectors, and also Dwight to our partners in sustainable fisheries. I always SFG, right? So basically, this is opening up a world of opportunities in terms of even our data helping Blue Halo and Wait in other areas say, hey, we did this in Montserrat, this is the data, let's try it in Aruba, let's try it in Curacao, let's try it in Barbuda. So basically, we want that when we are finished with this particular pilot, that it informs the whole Wait and Blue Halo initiative around the world.
So how were the participants selected?
Right. Well, Good question. We have a database already for young people registering with us, and everyone would have registered with the youth program. And we looked at their skill sets, their qualifications, their already employment areas or their interest areas, and that is how we went about picking the different individuals for the particular skills area that we are hoping to develop. And as you asked that question, the Blue Halo initiative is not the only initiative that we have going. We have young people at statistics. We have young people geared for the police. We have young people at in the nursing program. And there's a lot of other opportunities that are coming out from just having the registration, and also the fact that we have engaged in partnerships already. It is creating more opportunities, and what it does, it really, really focuses young people in their career paths, coming out of school and not necessarily seeing a buy-in into the normal work like banks and whatever. We're trying to create skills gap, fill the skills gap, and build capacity for continuity.
What's next for these participants after this Blue Halo program?
Very good question again. I don't mind having that question at all. Well, as you know, we have fishers. So fishers, we don't expect to stop being fishers. We expect them to be doing better at their fishing, understanding how they can use the new techniques to enhance their business. Some of them are already entrepreneurs. We're expecting the data collectors to continue into that area. So we're never going to stop collecting data, because data is what informs. And as you know, our media outreach, basically that's a job in itself. So once you have the necessary experience under your belt, this program gives you the opportunity to apply to any job in that particular area, using this experience to say, as you're on your CV, to say, I have this experience and this is what the outcome was. So basically, it will help each person develop their requisite skills in the particular area.
Heartfelt thank you to everyone who have come out here this morning. Sorry for the mix-up, guys. In the future, we'll make sure that communication is more effective. We look forward to hearing from you and working with you over the next 12 months. Have a good day, guys. Thank you so much.